So,
I'll show you this one.
Yes.
So this is a neck through. This is a Mac Garrison shaped imperial.
Yes.
Neck through body.
Yes.
This is actually an older one, so it's one of our older style instruments. But this is what I'm talking about. So the neck wood, if you can see, actually from the bottom you can see, you see the neck wood goes all the way to the bottom.
Yes.
So this piece of maple is the same piece that's used here.
Yes.
So that goes all the way to the bottom. This here is a piece of alder.
Yes.
Oh no, I'm sorry, this is a piece of maple. It's a maple tone block.
Yes.
That's the tone block. That's important. That's part of the body. So you have the body wings, so walnut and maple. That's an important piece for the sound. This right here, this is called the tone block accent. This is just a thin veneer of wood that we put so we can have a really beautiful line. In the back.
This is for just aesthetic.
That's for aesthetics. Yeah.
My goodness, just many people just think that this is tone block and this is just a part of body.
Oh no, well, but the tone block is the part of the body, you know? So maybe the people are just getting a little confused with the word tone block. But right, so that's something we want you to know is that this is the part, this wood here is the part that makes a difference for the sound. This is because we want it to be pretty. And it is pretty. And so that's what, you know, the neck through, you can see the advantage is, well, for one thing, the neck through is what we have to do a neck through for something like this, for something like a single cutaway.
Yes.
We can do a bolt-on single cut, but it's just as much work as a neck through, so it's the same cost. But in terms of sound, what the neck through gives you a little different is the ability to use 3 pieces of wood. So you can use walnut and maple, or walnut and ash, or ash and alder, you know?
So are you saying that the advantage I can get from this neck through is that I can get combined sound?
Yes, a combination of body woods, which is sort of part of what you get, is part of the single cut. It's part of what that build is. But the build quality is the same. It's not built any, like the standards aren't built cheaper than this, you know? They're just built with some specs that are easier for us to replicate, meaning that it's less work. That's less work than this. But the quality is the same.
Quality is the same. So if I don't use that high positioning play, so it'll be better for me to choose the bolt-on style.
If you don't go up to the high position?
Yes.
It'll be cheaper to do the bolt-on. And if you don't need to go into the high positions, then I don't think that there's a reason that you need to have a neck through, unless you want it, you know, unless it's something that you really want, which is fine. But, you know, for instance, I'm a bass player, you know, that's my instrument. I have a set neck because I didn't order that instrument. That was something that we built that we had to rebuild. It was a long story, but the customer wanted a different fingerboard and we used the wrong one. So this one I bought from the company. And then we built another one for them.
Actually, the maple is my favorite fingerboard.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's why I bought it. It was amazing. It's the best bass. But, you know, for me personally, I'm a bass player that plays in the low end. You know, I play here to here mostly. Very rarely do I do this. I don't need to go up here. This is not necessary for me. So for me, I love that bass, but I also love that bass. This is one of my favorite basses to take out in gigs. Bolt on, very simple, but it works really nicely and it has a wonderful sound. There's definitely not less. It's definitely just as good a sound from a bolt on as a neck through. Yeah.
Yeah, many people just think that neck through has a more sustain.
A lot of people say that, and a lot of times we've said that many times. We have found recently, not just through our tests, but tests that happened recently. We just saw a Bass Player magazine did a test, and they took a neck. They actually built a neck. No, not a bass, just a neck with a neck through neck. Strung it up, so they attached the strings to it with the tuners and a bridge, and recorded the sound, tuned it up, and recorded it with a spectrograph, so they can actually see the vibration.
Yes.
They did that. Then they cut the neck off and bolted it on, made it a bolt-on, did the same test, and then cut the bolt-on off and glued it to make a set neck, and they tested all 3, and they actually found, on their test, the bolt-on had more sustain.
Yes, that's right.
So The answer is it's not a perfect experiment.
Because I did it in Korea with
You
my
did that?
yes with my Korean friends.
Yeah,
We
okay.
just realized that the bolt-on neck has more sustain than sand neck.
Clearly, sometimes it does.
Yes.
We think that it can, but what we think is that it varies greatly from the pieces of wood.
Mm-hmm.
So one piece of wood might react differently than another. It might have something to do with what kind of fingerboard, what kind of strings.
Yes.
There's a lot of factors, but I think what the important part to take away is that it's not as big a difference as people think.
Yes,
you know?
yes, right.
Yeah, it's more about the way it feels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I really feel that I have the answer. And okay.